Hi, Chris Johnson, CEO of the Urban Taskforce. I recently undertook a trip to Japan and looked at some of the work by some of our members, particularly Sekisui House. Beautiful projects they're doing over there. But I was very much taken with the fact that Japan is about mixing up nature and urban development. It's getting this balance between the two that is a crucial sort of thing to do. So in this publication, in fact the cover shows it very much, that this is an incredible orange building that is quite an old building, of course, located on a site next to a waterfall, and the waterfall in fact generated the need for the building. So there's a relationship between the two. But Japan, of course, has an amazing tradition of Japanese gardens. Beautiful gardens, as you can see from these images. This is a garden in Nara in Japan, and the way the combination of colours, the foreshortening of views, the sort of use of occasional building to give a focus is very much about a poetic way to link in both architecture, the built environment, and nature. So quite a beautiful way of doing things. But one thing I did look at over there is an interesting way to sort of find examples of projects that are both nature, as you can see in this spreadsheet here, and built. So nature and urban. And I'll just go into a couple of these, but one is this beautiful forest, which is part of a walkway on the Key Peninsula. And the walkway is a traditional walkway called the Kimono Kodo. And it goes through these incredible tall trees as you go through this, wandering through nature. And I'm offsetting that with this image of the Fushimi Inara Taisha in Kyoto. This is a similar walkway, but it's through an orange colonnade of structured archways, gateways. And you wind through it, and there are women in traditional clothes that go through it, and it's just an amazing sort of combination, walking through a forest and walking through this built environment. Another pair I will just show fairly quickly is Japan's bamboo forests. The bamboo is just so beautiful with those tall, thin trunks that go up into the sky. And I offset that with looking at a building called the House of Winds by Sekisui House, which uses thin timber battens for the front door. So you can see on the front door here the way the thin battens just pick up the same character as the bamboo. So just two examples of this. Japan, of course, has an incredible bustling cosmopolitan character. You can see here some of these amazing images of bustling Japan, the liveliness of the city. This incredible building with the archway over the top and the circle in it is Sekisui House's main headquarters in Osaka, and a number of tall, thin buildings that seem to occur as well. But the focus I was looking at here is to look at the Dream Factory. This is Sekisui House's display homes. And you can see here the quality of these homes, absolutely beautifully put together in a landscaped environment, beautiful trees and landscape around them, and very refined and well-detailed buildings. A very good relationship between indoors and outdoors, again emphasising this urban and nature. Also, there is an eco-first park that they have built with a House of Wind. This is an image of the House of Wind with a little circular roof on the top, which means that the wind and the air movement funnels through and up through that central space to get cooling through the building. The garden space, you can see the indoor-outdoor relationship. But also just picking up that Sekisui have an incredible recycling process, where you've got these people here recycling materials. So every building site sends anything not used back to these factories, where they recycle it and reuse the material. But in Sydney, Sekisui House are building these amazing buildings. This is called Sharwood, Sharwood is a design from Japan, very systems related building, very horizontal flowing spaces, beautifully designed, about gardens, about buildings as well. But they've also done a number of apartments, and here again nature is linked into the urban. So at the Orchards at Norwest there's an outdoor cinema, which is very much part of how this whole project is going to work, and lots of rooftop gardens. And the Sanctuary at Wentworth Point, also integrating landscape and buildings, and very well designed sort of buildings as well. So important lessons I think to come from Japan about how these can come together. And I just want to end with a little bit of video movement, sort of looking at some of the interaction of moving through some of these spaces as you can walk through this orange colonnade and just see the sort of space as you move through that. How we can combine nature and the urban is a good message for us in Australia.
무슨 노동을